This Valentine's honeymoon rental ended up costing 33,000 simoleons, which kind of feels like a lot for how big it is. My name's Allie, and welcome to CozySunsetGames. So today we're building a romantic escape for Valentine's Day, and I wanted it to feel luxurious, warm, and intimate. I really wanted this to feel small and intimate, so I kept everything really small. One of the big features I wanted was an outdoor hot tub in its own kind of space as a feature point. And I wanted to have this wraparound porch for easy access. I built this hot tub area on a separate level because I wanted it to feel exclusive. I wanted it to feel luxurious. I wanted to feel like this is a romantic getaway that I would want to take. This big archway at the back of the build, I wanted the bed to be facing it. Now the layout is pretty simple because it is basically 2 rooms and then the outside. And I wanted it to feel kind of closed off but open at the same time. So I put a little wall behind the bed because that is where you kind of first walk in, and I don't want you to immediately be seeing the bed. I also wanted to provide a little bit more privacy with these curtains you can see that I'm putting up here. In theory, I guess that they could close. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out the layout, the vibes, where I want everything to be. We obviously needed a kitchen. I wanted a sitting area. And we will see how that all turns out. I think that this front area here turned out really nicely. I think that when you walk in, it feels very inviting and romantic. I really wanted to lean heavily into the reds in this build, which I think that I have accomplished so far. And I wanted to try out something on that back wall there. I felt that it was very simple, but adding too many things would make it very busy. I don't really understand why the mirrors in this game are so high up. I really wanted a mirror that sat just above that table there, and I didn't get it. These nightstands here, I absolutely adore. I think that they are so cute and perfect for this Valentine's honeymoon build. And I wanted this to feel like a main staple in this build. I wanted this bedroom area to be a selling point on this build. That if you were going to book this yourself, you would see this bedroom and you'd be like, this is perfect. I wanted to put rose petals on top of the bed, as you can see that I'm doing here. It did not turn out to be feasible in The Sims. And here I am lining the floor with rose petals for a nice little path to the bed. And I really do like this added touch. This rose petals are under rugs and they're from City Living. And I really do think that that kind of adds a touch of realism and romance into this. And then you see me put some suitcases down. I wanted that to be the dressing area. And when you're on vacation, you're going to bring your suitcases. If you're staying a while, you might put your stuff away into this little dresser. And I wanted it to be a designated space. Same with everything else. Everything has its own space, even though it is in a small area. I didn't want everything to feel kind of jumbled together. I really like how this sitting room area kind of turned out. I was imagining that if you have a rainy day, which it does rain quite a bit in Sulani, you're going to need something to do. And this is obviously a honeymoon rental, so you're going to want to spend more time with your partner. And so I thought board games would be really nice. Now you can actually play the one on the right. That is from Love Struck as well. We've used a lot of that in this build. And then with this, with these lights there, again, focal point for the bed. And then I wasn't quite sure what to do with the walls on either side of this window here. They felt bare, but I also didn't feel like putting up any paintings or anything because it is a very busy wall in and of itself. And I ended up deciding on these nice little gold lights that go up on the wall. And then here I am just going through, and I decided to change the window colors to kind of fit more into the vibe. And then this roof gave me quite a bit of a hard time. I knew I wanted a skylight over the roof. I felt that that was bringing very much romance and luxury into this build, which is what the whole thing is about. But I couldn't quite figure out how to roof that effectively, and so I did struggle with that for a little while. end, I did figure out how to roof this appropriately. I wasn't quite sure on the 2 different levels on the roof. You can see that the back part of the roof is sticking slightly above the front part of the roof. But I felt they gave dimension and character, and I really ended up liking how it looked. Now this bathroom, it's very small, very basic. I didn't really spend a lot of time in it. It just kind of has the stuff that you need. It has the towels on the wall there and toilet paper. This isn't somewhere I thought that would have a lot of clutter because it isn't somebody's house. You're bringing some of your stuff into this vacation rental. And then next up here, I'm working on the outside, which does end up changing quite a bit throughout this build video. How this back porch area for the hot tub ended up being probably my absolute favorite part of the build. I really end up liking how it turns out. It's kind of a rough start. We're kind of going through and picking things that don't end up working and changing a lot, but in the end, I really think that it came. Next up here is the landscaping, and I'm really not quite versed in landscaping such a sandy area, which I think, I try my best. There's probably some things that I could end up improving on, but I think that it turned out pretty okay. You'll see that I put one of the picnic blankets down over to the side there as well. And I really just like how this whole build turned out. All right, so this is the outside of the finished build. I am really happy with how it turned out. So let's hop in game together and we can go and do a tour of it. All right, so we did this build in Sulani. We're over here in this lot here, Perfection. Let's hop on in and then we can do the first person walkthrough together. All right, so we did this build in Sulani. We're over here in this lot here, Perfection. Let's hop on in and then we can do the first person walkthrough together.